Welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. My name is Doug McCain. Thanks for rocking with us. Little Dodgers Nation post-game show after dark here. But you know how we get things kicked off. Give me your zip code, city. Where are you watching the Dodgers Nation post-game show? Let me know in the comments. Dodgers get the win, 6-3. Kenley Jansen, he had some action on that cutter there, had that slider. If you could harness that slider a little more, could really go a long way for Kenley Jansen. But of course, you know he likes that dirty inning. Had to have a walk there at the end. But Kenley Jansen, how about the return of Dick Mountain? Rich Hill is inspiring. That's what I'm saying. Rich Hill, it looked like his knee was just going to give up there. But we're going to break down the entire game. But let me know in the comments, who do you guys have as your player of the game? Who do you got? Where are you guys watching the Dodgers Nation post-game show? I'm going with Dick Mountain. I know Max Muncy hit that grand salami, first of his career, and it was very fitting. The same place where he hit his first home run as a Dodger, he gets that grand slam. But right into the comments, guys. PYKS 602 repping Dodger Blue. What up, PYKYS? Always repping in the comments. Adam Hanks, the 916 checking in, yo. What up, Adam? Chris, Floro is tipping. Floro, have a nice winter. I mean, this team had a no-hitter if you take off Dylan Floro. Thanks, Dylan. Mess it up for everyone. But no, Dylan Floro came in, gave up 3 runs and 5 hits. Dodgers hadn't allowed a hit, and they get 5 hits off Dylan Floro. He was hanging stuff middle of the plate, and they really got after him. They put up some runs in that 5th inning. But we got Ryan. How's it going, Ryan? Great win. Floro needs work, though. Brian, Floro, not Floor. Greg, yeah, baby, go Dodgers. Jose Rod, Huntington Beach in the 714. I want to get a city from all you guys today, man. Doug Crosby, repping here in East Lansing, Michigan. Adam Hanks, love the red shoes. Jansen, you always point that out. You love his kick game. His kick game is strong. Team Jordan athlete. Jason from Los Angeles, the 9001. John Isles, how you doing, John? The 661. Jose Rod and Lunch Manual from Carmen. Muncie. We got Jay Carter. Love the show from the 310. You're a poet. You don't even know it. Patrick from the 6007. Anderson. Ray Bar Simeon. Hey, Doug. What up? Awesome show tonight. Hey, what up, Ray? Always rock with us. VIP member of the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Oscar from Gardena. Joseph Hernandez. Oh, yeah. Let's go Dodgers in the Boyle 3-2-3. How excited, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you guys for the playoffs that start a week from Thursday? I know it is we're taking up another level, taking it up a notch. The playoffs are right around the corner. I know you guys are fired up out there. And you saw tonight, the big news tonight, Dodgers clinch home field advantage throughout the National League. Now, there was a time Dodgers, that lead had closed to 3.5 games. Ronald Acuna, Freddie Freeman and company were chasing that home field advantage. The Dodgers wrapped that up, and they get their 101 win of the season, 101-56. They're now 46-25 against the NL West this year. And the Dodgers, now they got 5 more games, 2 more in San Diego, and then they close things out against San Francisco, against the Giants up in San Francisco. So the Dodgers, they're still, what do they have to play for right now? Above a 10 for Emmanuel. We got Doug Crosby. You guys are jacked. You guys are ready, right? It is playoff season. You can feel it. First day of fall yesterday, and you know what that means, October baseball. And we're going to talk about the playoff rosters, get into all that, break down this game. Jason is nervous. Tina G-Man, go blue. How's it going, Tina G-Man? Player of the game has got to be Max Power Muncy. That 4th inning grand slam meant the difference tonight. It definitely made the difference. That grand slam by Max Muncy. How about that launch angle? A 43-degree launch angle. Someone is probably getting hit, and that thing is still in the air. The camera had a hard time following it. It was a skyscraper. No Mo FOMO. Hi, Doug. What up, No Mo FOMO? No, really, come on. Dodger Love from area code 703. I've been ready for the playoffs. All you guys are playoff ready. And the question is, which Dodgers are playoff ready? Tonight, Cody Bellinger, that average dipping below 300 for the first time all season long. Hit the ball hard. But Cody Bellinger, now 2 for his last 16. Definitely got some good contact on that. But Cody Bellinger, I still think that he's the front runner to get that MVP. I still think that he can hold off Randon. I think he can hold off Pete Alonso, who's making a late run. But I think you got to give it to that record. Dodgers now 101 wins on the year. His OPS His WRC plus still 161, and he still leads the majors in B WAR at 8.6. Go to DodgersNation.com. It's a great piece about the MVP race right now. I still think it's Cody Bellinger's MVP, but that's not what's important. What's important is getting him to swing that bat with confidence at the right time. He's missing pitches, and he just needs to take what the pitcher is giving to him. He needs to go along with it. He needs to hit the ball into right field more, into left field, work those gaps, and you can tell, look, he's only a few home runs away from being the franchise leader for the Los Angeles Dodgers. He's a couple away from Adrian Beltre's 48, and then, of course, he wants to break Sean Green's 49 home run record for the Los Angeles Dodgers, but he needs to refine that swing, and he just looks lost out there, especially on pitches low and away. Does not look great right now, Cody Bellinger, but I still believe in Cody. I still think that he's going to mash when it comes October. But back to the comments. Michelle Carter, anyone hear about John Boy's take on Roberts' ejection and included the home field advantage take? I've not seen it yet, but hey, man, last manager to get ejected, Dave Roberts, Doc, you know he's going to fight for the boys. I think that was the most ill-advised and most egregious ejection of the year, but hey, at least he joins the party. Charles Hamble, playoff time is here. It's in the air. I'm ready, waiting for all year for playoffs. Been waiting since last year's World Series loss. You and I both, you and I and the entire Dodgers fan base is with you. Ray Barsimeon, my Max Muncy signed 25 by 25. There you go again, Ray Barsimeon, with your Dodgers museum. What's your favorite piece of memorabilia? Because you have tons of it. Cyberpunk Jansen is still made me nervous. He didn't have a clean outing. I don't remember the last time he had a clean inning. He's not lights out enough to finish off the Yankees and the Astros. Hell, even the A's. Look, Kenley Jansen, you just got to take it with a grain of salt. When he comes out there, it's not going to be 2017 Kenley Jansen, but you'd hope for a little more consistency. And he always talks about the cutter being a field pitch. He says he found it in Baltimore, but to me, it's one step back, two steps forward, three steps back with Kenley Jansen sometimes, and it's really between the ears with Kenley Jansen. If he goes out there and he doesn't think about the totality of an entire inning and goes out there, takes it one pitch at a time, I think that's really the best approach with Kenley Jansen as he continues to start to work that slider and more. That slider is starting to improve just a little bit. And tonight he was hitting 93. Of course, with the way his leg is, with the way his move is to the plate, that looks more like a 97, like 97. But Kenley Jansen, look, hey man, it's gonna be it's not gonna be easy to stomach his outings in the postseason. There's no question about it. Kenley Jansen, when he enters the game, look, back in the day, it was his intro song is California Love. I say it should just be Randy Newman's I Love LA because we were going to get that win. Now it's a little different. He's got a career high in the blown save department, giving up 9 home runs. Last year he gave up 13 home runs. But Kenley Jansen, he has shown some signs of life. And look at that inning against the Mets. Against the Mets, to me, that's a nationally televised game against a desperate Mets squad. He strikes out Pete Alonso there. To me, I think that to me was his last one. And then also against that Mets one really was the best. Was to me his best outing in recent memory, and we need him to find it. Don't kid yourself. Kenley Jansen is going to be required to get key outs and key saves, and the recipe really is you just can't have it on a day in and day out basis. He has to have his rest because you know that he can't come out on consecutive nights, and that's going to be the case. But Doug Crosby, you see Turner tied the franchise record for most hit by a pitch. Yeah, he did. He tied the greatest I still consider him the greatest Dodger of all time. I think Sandy Koufax, it's 1A and 1B with Koufax and Jackie Roosevelt Robinson, but he tied Jackie Robinson for most hit by a pitch. Baseball Reference has Zach Wheat as being hit by 73 times by a pitch. But look, it's his approach at the plate. He gets in that box, he stays in there, and his style of batting really lends itself to getting hit by a pitch. But hey, as long as he's not getting injured, getting guys on base is the most important thing. We got Los Doyers from Rob Ryan. I think Joe David could possibly rest the starters this weekend in San Francisco. So this weekend, I mean, talking about Rich Hill. So Rich Hill, he starts tonight, and I was sad. I was really. I thought this was the beginning of the end of the Rich Hill era in Los Angeles. He was pitching, and every time he landed, it was like he stepped on a Lego or something. He was not planting on that leg, and it was really hindering him. But then Rich Hill, he had 8 consecutive misses. We saw that noticeable limp. And when you can't follow through, if you can't follow through with the stuff that Rich Hill has, you need it to get that break on that curveball. You want to see it, but then he walked Manny Machado on a 4-pitch walk, and I'm like, okay, they're going to bring in the bullpen, they're going to bring in the reinforcements, but not only does he turn around, he gets his 1,000th strikeout, 4 strikeouts and a double for Rich Hill tonight. That curveball, when we saw the best of it, had great shape to it. So I like what I saw out of Rich Hill. I think that for that Game 4 matchup in the postseason, when you want to have that bullpen game, I like to see Rich Hill out there. I would like to see Tony Gonsolin start it. Then you bring in a Rich Hill, maybe bring in a Rich Hill, then send it to Julio Urias or Kenta Maeda. So I'm really confident about that Game 4 bullpen game based on what I saw of Rich Hill. Because, look, that knee can get stronger, that knee can get healthier as long as he doesn't have any major setbacks. And they're going to give Rich Hill another start on Sunday. He's going to close it out against the Giants. Not the same ramifications as last year's start against the Giants, but what do you guys think about Rich Hill? To me, I'm inspired. Every time Dick Mound takes the hill, he just is a fun guy to watch. He goes out there, he competes. The velocity disparity from his fastball to his curveball, it makes that fastball look like it's 93, 94, the lower he gets those breaking pitches. But Rich Hill on the night, he was, what'd you guys think of Rich Hill? Let me get some of your comments on Rich Hill. We got Rich Hill will be our Kirk Gibson moment. I like that no mo FOMO. I thought it was going to be David Freese maybe, but I like that. It's the best news. Ray Barsimeon, that is the best news I have heard all day. And on my B-Day, it's your birthday, not only did the Dodgers win, but also secured home field. Happy birthday. Everyone say happy birthday to Ray Barsimeon. Ben Sanchez, let's try to get home field advantage throughout the playoffs. The Astros won again, and they have the best record in the majors right now. I hate to break it to you guys, but I don't see us. It's a long shot. It is a long shot. I crunched some of the numbers for the home field advantage, and the Yankees have the tiebreaker since they won 2-1, and the Astros also have the tiebreaker due to a better intra-division record. The Yankees lost today in extra innings, but the Astros won. So we would need 9 results out of 12 total games to go our way to get that home field advantage. And the Astros, and they would need 7 results out of the 10 total games to finish ahead of the Yankees. So that is, the odds of that happening are not in the Dodgers' favor. A lot would have to swing. A lot would have to happen in the last couple games here. And Houston is playing the Mariners and Angels. The Yankees get the Rangers and one more against the Tampa Bay Rays. So the Rays, as we saw, they're no joke, but I don't think it's very likely that the Dodgers are going to get home field advantage. Our best bet really is hoping that the Twins or the A's or one of these AL teams can upset the Astros and upset the Yankees so the Dodgers can get it that way. But home field advantage through the NLCS is still big. I feel like, look, winning Game 7 last year, if it wasn't for that Puig home run late in that game, Dodgers could have lost that, and we could be talking about trying to get back to the World Series for the first time since 2017. So, but here we go. Back to, so I do think it's important. We've talked about it here a lot, but it doesn't seem like it's in the cards for the Dodgers. But hey, if the Dodgers need to go on the road and get that World Series, I still think that this could culminate in a World Series for the Dodgers. But I like how he went to the bullpen from Archie, Ryan, Orion, Montez. True, Gibson and Hill both have had leg injuries. So, yeah, hey, it could be a different. Now, are you talking about from a pitching perspective, or is Rich Hill going to come in and hit that backdoor slider like Kirk Gibson did? So that would be great to see. Chet Kroll, Dick Mound, Ron Jeremy can't touch his junk. Cyberpunk, Hill should have been our 4th ace. Look, Rich Hill, a 2.6 ERA in the postseason. He's pitched great in And he's a guy you can trust out there. He's a guy who I really want to see in Game 2 of the World Series last year. So, but Rich Hill, look, whatever he gives us, and also don't underestimate him as a locker room spark. He's a guy in the locker room that's going to be out there. He's a great locker room guy, a great mentor for this pitching staff. And you can see, man, he's got that long-standing bromance with Clayton Kershaw. But I really want to see Rich Hill in any capacity. So, and I think we're going to see that. As long as that MCL doesn't get further damaged, the arm looks right, and, of course, that's the most important thing. Charles Hamble, Hill looks good, promising to start in the playoffs. So you like him to start in the playoffs. Maybe if you're it's not enough time to really build him up to that standpoint, but here we go. Braves can't even beat the Royals. Haha, we already clinched the NLCS. Jason, what happened if the Yankees and Astros lose? So kind of just went into it. They're going to need to have a lot of results go the Dodgers' favor. But, hey, knowing now that the Dodgers are going to have to go on the road, look, that Minute Maid Park, that's a hitter's park. Has that deep center field. But, hey, the Dodgers' potent offense, this Dodger offense, 160 runs on the year. So this team can score runs. They're averaging 5.4 runs a game. And the big thing about this Dodger team is the clutch stats. And that is the improvement that has me thinking maybe this year is different. Maybe this year is the year they get over the hump and they raise that commissioner's trophy. Because if you look at it, last year the Dodgers, they were 7th with runners in scoring position. 7th with runners in scoring position. This year, first in the National League. Home runs, this year first, last year first. The Dodgers hit dingers. That is what they do. Max Muncy hit a jack tonight. Jock Peterson got one late there. A little excuse me home run by Jock Peterson. He gets his 33rd blast of the year. And then also 2 out RBIs for the Dodgers. They were 12th in the NL last year. Now they're 2nd. So 2nd this year, 12th last year. So you look at those 2 key stats, and those are areas of improvement that this Dodger team has shown that they have marked improvement in those areas. And to me, this offense has to really carry. I know the pitching staff has carried this team in the regular season, but to me, the offense, because look, Clayton Kershaw cannot bank on getting that type of run support that he's afforded during the regular season. He's not going to be getting 7, 8 runs in the postseason. But they're going to have to give him some. So the Dodger offense is going to have to come alive. And if you look at Clayton Kershaw, we're going to need him to step up. Clayton Kershaw, he's kind of backing into the postseason. If you look at it, a 6 ERA in the first. He's given up his ERA in the first inning is over 6, 18 earned runs in 27 innings. That's almost double his ERA, which is just a shade over 3. So the thing about Clayton Kershaw is if he can get through that first inning, he's shown that he settles down, he can get batters out. Yes, he's going to give you the occasional home run. That's what he's going to do. But the idea with Clayton Kershaw is limiting damage. So I think Clayton Kershaw can get it done, but here we go. Here we go. Oscar, especially with belly slumping. Floro sucks for the most part, Cyber. Jesus Rivera, Floro, Neo Mero, say, ya, Vayuega, Dodgers, Robert. Oh, yeah. No, I totally agree with you. 100% on that one. Jose Roddy shows up in the last 2 World Series. We could be talking 3-peat. I think that you're not totally far off with that, but Kershaw's not the only guy to blame because you also have to lump Kenley Jansen in there. But you're right. If Clayton Kershaw, we should have won in 2017, okay? We should have won in 2017. That Game 1 start was a good start. He came in relief for Yu Darvish and handled his business. But, look, Clayton Kershaw's postseason woes are what they are. Clayton Kershaw, if you look at in the postseason, Clayton Kershaw – all time, and this pains me to say. It hurts my heart every time I say it. He's 9-10 with a 4.32 ERA in 30 postseason games. Now, 30 postseason games. He's not as bad as some like to make it out to believe. Like to believe he was, but he's had some good starts. He had a nice. He pitched well against Atlanta last year. The Braves series kind of got away. I mean, the Red Sox series got away from a little bit, but to me, I still believe that this is the year for Clayton Kershaw. Look, he understands that for him, it's about, like I said, limiting damage, hitting his spots. If you look at Clayton Kershaw, he has to be precise with his command, and he just cannot hang. He can't misplace that fastball, because that fastball, the velocity has dipped to where it is. I mean, it's sub 90 on some games. So Clayton Kershaw, he has to hit that fastball. His fastball is averaging 89.7 miles per hour compared to 90.4 that in his last start. So that's starting to trend in the wrong direction as we head into the playoffs. But he's going to adjust. He's going to adjust. I think that Clayton Kershaw understands that he doesn't have very many of these runs left in him. I think that Clayton Kershaw realizes the moment, and this might be the Dodgers' best chance with him playing a major part in it. Because, look, he's going to be expected to give you 5, 6, 7, 8 starts and potentially come in relief. You never know what's going to happen in the postseason, and he understands that I think he's going to sell out. I think he's going to give it his all, and then we'll see what happens next year. But I think Clayton Kershaw realizes that this is the postseason. Opportunities are going to run out at some point if you're Clayton Kershaw, and that's the last thing on his resume that's left to accomplish. This guy has done absolutely everything in the sport of baseball, from winning MVP, Cy Youngs. This guy has everything on his resume. He could retire today and wake up in Cooperstown overnight after he's eligible. So he's a surefire Hall of Famer. We know that. But that World Series title is missing, and he's desperate to accomplish that. Elm Street, I could have sworn we were going to win the 2017 World Series. Eric Berta, Kershaw should start Game 1 of the NLDS. Jose Gonzalez, Verdugo should be ready by the second round in the playoffs. Now, that's a great point, Jose. Getting Verdugo back, to me, is essential. It's vital to this Dodgers playoff run, because I think that's one of the things that's one of the things that has me as excited as I am about the potential of winning it this year, is guys like Alex Verdugo. Even Gavin Lux out there, he's got an effortless swing, and he can get contact. Because when we lost these World Series in the past, you'd sit there, you say, man, we can't even get the bat on the baseball. We can't even get wood on the ball. And guys like Alex Verdugo, they have a very low chase rate. They have great contact rate with balls in the zone. And to me, though, it's just a matter of timing. Is he going to be able to get his timing back in time for the World Series? Because, hey, you throw him in there against the Atlanta Braves, that's not going to be the easiest situation for Alex Verdugo. But the kid could get hot, and the baseball world shouldn't let it happen, because that could be a major spark for this offense. Jose Rod, the horrors of 2014, will bring in my mind that MVP year left a sour taste. It definitely left a sour taste. Yeah, that was that year. It was the year that you really thought that was going to culminate in a World Series with the Dodgers. But especially, I mean, when you see guys like Oral Hershiser, when you see guys like Madison Bumgarner at the age of 20 carrying their teams to World Series, it just felt like with Zach Greinke, with Clayton Kershaw, that was going to be the year. But unfortunately, it did not happen. And postseasons they're not easy. They're not easy, and they lost that. That was a tough series, man. You just kind of just crushed my spirits there a little bit. But hey, and I don't want to. Hey, you saw Flaherty tonight. Flaherty was flirting with a no-hitter, and he's a guy you don't want to see twice. And those Cardinals, to me, the Cardinals pose a major threat because of that, because his elite pitching. The Dodgers have been having issues hitting against high-velocity pitchers in the last couple of weeks. So there's an ESPN piece about how the Dodgers have improved as far as their ability to hit gas, but that's trended in the wrong direction in the last couple of weeks. So they got to get that squared away. But where's my comments? Here we go. We got Adam. Will Kershaw take over Honeycutt's position in the future? That's a great question. I could definitely see him staying within the organization. I think one of the reasons why they signed him to that long-term deal and they paid him for work past due is for all the benefits of having Clayton Kershaw, producing his jerseys, using him to sell tickets, and the benefits that you get for long-term with Clayton Kershaw. So I could totally see him as he's so competitive. He's so competitive. And sometimes the best players don't make the best coaches. So I don't know. I don't necessarily know if that's going to be in his future. But Rick Honeycutt is a guy that he's learned a lot from. And you also see he takes guys under his wing. I've seen guys like Tony Gonsolin, Dustin May. They try to absorb the greatness of Clayton Kershaw, pick his brain out in the dugout. So I can see that. And it'd be great to have him in the Dodgers organization. And if you look at Sandy Koufax, Sandy Koufax was a special instructor of the team for quite a while. He also did some work with the Mets. So I definitely see him being around the game. He's a baseball junkie. But Jason, the difference between this year and last year is that the Dodgers are playing more small ball while still hitting homers. Exactly. It's like we added something to our arsenal. We added the ability to be a little more dynamic, to play a little more situational baseball while still being able to still hit jacks and crush homers. So you're definitely right about that. And exactly. And don't think that wasn't a point of emphasis in the offseason. Andrew Freeman understood, hey, you hit just over 200 in the World Series, you got to do something. So what did they do? They brought in Van Scoyoc, and so he has really had a big impact on this season. And you just hope that the Dodgers at some point do not regress, because Cody Bellinger has regressed. And it's a game of adjustments, and the Dodgers are going to face elite pitching in the World Series. But here we go. We got Jags. I feel we got to focus on getting the NLDS and NLCS done quickly to keep our pitchers as rested as possible for big games. That's a great point. There's always rest versus rust, and you want to ride that momentum. But for this team, I think keeping the arms fresh is a point of emphasis, and to me is something that should be prioritized for this team. Go in there, take care of business, get the job done. Because, look, you saw last year in the World Series, last year in the NLCS, that was a tough, Game 163 was tough, and then you face Atlanta. They made quick work of Atlanta. They dropped the game to the Braves, but the Brewers series was no joke. That was a back-and-forth series. It was in the balance for a couple games, and it took a Game 7 on the road, and you're definitely right. That was a grueling series that did not help the Dodgers when they faced the Red Sox. So they burnt, and look, it's all about staying fresh, and I think you're totally onto something there. The Dodgers, knowing how to pace themselves throughout a postseason, knowing what it takes to go from the division round to the NLCS to the World Series, guys like Corey Seager, guys like Cody Bellinger, this is not their first rodeo, and they're going to have to do their part in teaching guys like Will Smith and Gavin Lux, Alex Verdugo, guys like that, and help them along the way. But also don't underestimate the power of the Freeze man. David Freeze, to me, is going to have an impact on this postseason. To me, they've been saving him, and they're trying to keep him fresh. But that's a great point, Jags. I love that point. Fernanda, it is Kersh's year. Hey, let's all keep the vibes up. Like Tommy Lasorda said, you always have to believe, and I think that's an important thing for the narrative of Dodger fans. Look, we have to surrender to the games. We have to surrender to each and every game, and then after the fact, then we'll come back, and then we'll blow it up, and then we'll rake them over the coals, and then we'll say everything we need to say about Dave Roberts. But we need to believe, and I think that's an important factor. Keep those vibes up, and I think that, hey, I'm hoping for Clayton Kershaw, 9-10 with a 4.32 career postseason ERA. He gets that signature moment. You love to see it. Ryan Orion Montes, I think Kershaw is starting Game 1 of the NLDS. I think they're setting it up that way. Jose Gonzalez, Ricky Carter, do you think we will see St. Louis again in the playoffs? I think that the way St. Louis is playing right now, they're a team that is set up, and if you have a dominant starting pitcher like they have, I think it's definitely very possible. I think the Braves, from top to bottom, that lineup is such a potent lineup. I like the Braves in that situation. Right now, the Cardinals' offense, though, I don't think will hang with the Dodgers pitching. I think the pitching depth of the Dodgers ultimately will help them beat the Cardinals if they face off in the playoffs. Tina G-Man, the Dodgers are limiting his innings. Exactly. Tony Fomo, need to help Smith shake his slump off. Yeah, Will Smith, he's been going through it in the worst way, and that's definitely something that needs to be shored up because, look, they know what he's capable of. His first like 120 at bats, he was hitting 318. 12 home runs. This guy came out of the gates just about as hot as any batter has for the Dodgers in recent memory, but you're going to have some regression to the mean at some point. And for Will Smith, unfortunately, that was the case. He tailed off, and he needs to get it right, because the Dodgers need – one second here. The Dodgers definitely need production. They definitely need production out of that catcher spot. We saw what happened with Yasmani Grandal. Yasmani Grandal was absolutely slumping in the worst levels last year. He got supplanted by Austin Barnes and the catcher spot. But if you look at Will Smith, last 30 games for Will Smith, he's got Will Smith, man. He's hitting 141 last 30 games. He's 6 for his last 64. So batting 141. Last 7 games, cover your ears if you don't want to hear something pretty nasty, but his last 7 games, Will Smith, he's down to he's down to he's actually up to 200. He's actually up to 200, 2 for his last 10. And, 3 RBIs. He did get that home run that helped get him off the schneid. But with Will Smith, I think we don't need him to hit 12 home runs. We don't need him to hit 12 runs. And we don't always need him to go. If you look at his fly ball rate, up to 61%, and also that strikeout rate going from 24 to 33%. So, to me, as long as he goes up there, has the solid at-bat, gets that bat on the ball, and starts barreling stuff, that barrel rate still at 9.8%. So, I'm still a big believer in Will Smith. He's starting to incrementally make his way back, but I just think that you still have to think long-term and hope that at some point he comes out of this slump. And none of these pitchers in the AL, they're going to have zero familiarity with Will Smith too. So he's going to have that on his side. I think he could have a big October. Nomo, he is nasty, Nomo FOMO. Samuel, Dodgers need to get creative with their pitching just like the Red Sox did last year. If I'm not mistaken, they used Chris Sale, Price, Eovaldi as starters and relievers. Yeah, the Red Sox were all over the place. They didn't trust Craig Kimbrell. By the way, Craig Kimbrell, this guy, I remember, we've been doing this for months and months. I remember everyone here clamoring for Craig Kimbrell, and he gives up that home run to the Cardinals, and the Cubs are going to be watching from their sofas in October. So, yeah, they definitely have to be creative. Like, I am not opposed to anything. If it means bringing Walker Buehler out to get a key save, you do it. If it means riding the hot hand of Julio Urias, you do it. To me, I'm still a believer in Dustin May. To me, look, if you look at guys, Madison Bumgarner was 20. John Lackey, you're never ready. No one's ever going to be completely ready for the postseason. You got to throw them out there. You got to have them feel that fire. And when you have elite stuff, Dustin May has a world-class splitter, a 90-mile-per-hour splitter. And to me, I still think you roll with that and you go with your guys who have the best stuff, guys who have the potential to miss bats in the postseason, because that's what it's going to take against that potent Astros lineup. That is going to be what it's going to take. Because like I said, if we play the Astros or the Yankees or the Twins, those teams all slug, all go deep. I want to see that. Virginia, oh no. Wait, what happened? The Red Sox were absolutely nasty last year, especially the pitchers. Wait, who's okay? I'm missing this one. Jose Rod, 2-out RBI, win the World Series. Midshipman 89, we win. We play the winner of Washington, Milwaukee. Yeah, what Milwaukee's done since Christian Yelich has gone out with that kneecap, that broken kneecap, is very impressive. They've really rallied the troops. Where's Verdugo? Verdugo's still out, unfortunately. He had a setback. He was playing with the Ogden Raptors, and then that oblique is still holding him back. Bill Plunkett was on the Blue Heaven podcast. By the way, I'm going to be co-hosting the Blue Heaven podcast on Thursday. Check for me. I'm going to be rocking with the Real FRG and Brooke Smith and the gang at the Blue Heaven podcast on Thursday. But he's still injured. They hope to have him back for the NLCS, and I think definitely need him back, especially defensively. Don't underestimate what he can do as a defender. So, but yeah, we got. I hope he's doing well. Can someone get an update? So the update on him, he's still rehabbing. He's still rehabbing, and he's got that oblique, and it's spread to his back. So when it goes to your back, that's a terrible injury for a baseball player. For someone like Alex Verdugo, who's got a sweet swing, your back cannot be hindering you in any way. But they're hoping to get him back for the NLCS. How important do you guys think, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is getting Doogie back in the lineup for the Dodgers? Let me know in the comments right here. To me, I think it's vital. I think it's vital. The versatility he has, too. He can play center, he can play right, he can play left, and only 2 errors. Only 2 errors all year, a .989 fielding percentage for Alex Verdugo. And, yeah, to me, we really, really need him. If you remember, too, his outfield assist, too, that frozen rope that he had against the Red Sox comes to mind. And I want to see Alex Verdugo get back. I mean, I just really miss him. He's one of my favorite players to watch on this team. Also, the benefits that he gives you from a locker room standpoint. To me, he just provides a spark. He's just great. But they're going to need him back. And unfortunately, that oblique sprain, I mean, he played on that game on August 4th. But he does hope to, of course, the Dodgers have to take care of business and hope that they can make it to the NLCS so they can get his services, which I have full confidence that he will do. But 1 second here. First half, Cody, that's another big thing too. Cody Bellinger, they need to get him back swinging away. He's missing pitches, he's missing gas, and his approach at the plate is he's looking for home runs. It's clear out there that he's fishing for jacks, and yes, we're going to see sometimes. Look, Sunday, he got that grand slam, but it's clear he's not completely out of it. But a couple hard-hit balls tonight, and I do think Cody Bellinger is going to make those adjustments in the postseason. I think that this could be his breakout year in the postseason based on his approach at the plate. We know that he's struggled in the past, but second half Corey. We got Tina G-Man. If they keep the starters fresh, then the bullpen has to play more. They all need to do their jobs, and they'll be fine. Ben, we need Ryu to be dominant like he was in the start of the season. Yeah, Hyun-Jin Ryu, that ERA. You're talking about guys like Bob Gibson. His ERA was .85 at Dodger Stadium, but he has strung together 2 great starts. So you got to give him that. Hyun-Jin Ryu, 7 scoreless against the Mets, and then that ERA at 2, still major league leading ERA. And to me, that he got his confidence back. He's got the command on that change. And to me, when he has the command on all of his pitches, then he can work every quadrant of the strike zone. But if you look at him, another good thing too is he had a nice outing with Will Smith behind the plate. He had struggled with him behind the plate, but Hyun-Jin Ryu, he had another good outing, and he's been nails with runners in scoring position. So we're definitely going to need a Hyun-Jin Ryu in the playoffs that's going to pitch similarly to the way he did earlier in the year. I definitely am. I'm in agreement with you on that one. To me, with him though, he's another guy like Kershaw. As great as his stuff is, he can't miss his spots. He cannot miss his spots because his stuff isn't blowing past you. He's pitching. He's a pitching savant, okay? He's the modern-day Greg Maddux, but when you're the modern-day Greg Maddux, you got to hit your spots, you got to command your changeup and fastball. But as opposed to but Hyun-Jin Ryu has definitely got it together. To me, I think that I like my chances with Hyun-Jin Ryu. How do you guys feel? To me, I think he's the Cy Young Award winner too. I think that he locked up that Cy Young. I know that DeGrom is on his heels. I know that DeGrom is ahead of him in WAR, but I think you got to go with Hyun-Jin Ryu. Looks like the wrestler, the Beast. That's hilarious. I like that one. From Virginia Bernard. Cyberpunk, we need Ruiz as catcher. Well, Ruiz, unfortunately, is out for the rest of the year with the thumb injury, but who knows in a couple years. I mean, that's the thing about Will Smith. He's 24 years old. He's not he comes in there with already experience. But yeah, getting Keibert Ruiz back, or getting Keibert Ruiz up here, I think that ultimately, I think Will Smith is the guy. I think he's the guy. and I think that Keibert Ruiz is ultimately used as a potential trade chip. So I think I would cash in on that. I think regardless of what happens this year, you're going to get a from who should be the closer in the playoffs from DeZan Greenberg. I think it's closer by committee. I think that Kenley Jansen, if he shows that he's competent in the first division round and he rides that momentum to the NLCS, I think it's touch and go. I think if Kenley Jansen, every appearance he gets, you base it off of his last outing, because we're not going to blow series because of Kenley Jansen. And they've been very vague about Joe Kelly's injury right now. He's got aching. He has a body ache throughout his body. He's got aches throughout his body. But I think that you're going to see that. I think you see Joe Kelly. I think you'll see Julio Urias in for some saves. I think the days of Kenley Jansen being the guy with every save on the line, I think that's good for the Dodgers. I think that's great for Kenley Jansen. Kenley Jansen has a lot of pride. He understands that he has that he's an all-time great Dodger. Say what you want about Kenley Jansen, he's an all-time great Dodger. And if you look at him, 298 saves and a 2.37 ERA in 602 games, and he's tied for 8th in the major with 30 saves. We know it's the home run ball, and it's the walks with Kenley Jansen. I remember in 2017, we were going crazy. It was like the first time in 51 batters he allowed a walk. That Kenley Jansen is not here. But if he's pitching well, I think you give it to him. But I don't think the Dodgers need a set-in-stone closer. Who do you got? How about this? Who would you guys trust if you could pick any Dodger out of that bullpen right now? It's a 2-1 game. Yankees Game 7. Who are you going with in that situation? Who do you want? Who do you want the Dodgers trotting out there in the ultimate crunch time, man up situation? Eyes Bobby, don't assume you're in the series. You got to believe the Dodgers are going to be back. Eyes Bobby, by the way, that's nothing to discredit or disrespect the opponent there with Atlanta or whoever we're going to face, but I think the Dodgers get there. Not completely confident with May, Gonsolin better. I like that too. I definitely think Gonsolin is more seasoned. He's an older, he's like 25. May's only 21, so. But, yeah, definitely with you on that. But I would rather see Gonsolin for an extended game. I'd rather see him go 4 innings, 5 innings. Dustin May I would keep at around 2-3 innings. The Catman 2 from Roxanne. Brian Smith will be fine. I think so, too. I think he's just about to break out of that slump. That home run was promising. Kevin Durant, Katie in the house. Rather play the Brewers than the Nationals. Jose Rod can't rate. Megan Man, Verdugo Albro, you on Twitter. Yes, I am on Twitter. You can find me at DMAC_LA. That's at DMAC_LA. Also host another podcast, the Get More Sports Podcast. It's basically about all topics. We get your takes on that too. But Kenley Jansen, 1 inning tonight, no hits, no runs, 1 K, 1 walk. Gets his 31st save of the year. But we got 10. What happened to this? We get Dodgers need Verdugo from Eyes Bobby. I think Sadler should be added to the roster for the playoffs. Casey Sadler is someone that has really just came out of nowhere. But Casey Sadler, he's a guy who's definitely making a case. If you look at Casey Sadler, 22 games, a 2.52 ERA, 19 strikeouts. He's kept headers to a 2.47 batting average. I think ultimately, it's his 4th major league season, so he's not he's a guy that's ready for his opportunity. But I think Casey Sadler, we're going to see what happens with him. But here we go, Cyberpunk. Oh, there we go. Now we're back. Only they can get, Kelly should get the ball as a closer. Yeah, if Joe Kelly has that same mojo, if he could ride that wave that he rode throughout the playoffs last year when it was 11 straight scoreless innings, that's then you do it. I think there'll be no doubt about it, but he was not getting the lion's share of those saves. A lot of those saves last year were in innings 6, 7, 8, and yes, he was great, but didn't rack up very many saves. Evaldi was doing it in the playoffs. They brought in Chris Sale. They brought in David Price. So they did. They were very creative. They're very clever what they did it. But Virginia Burnell. Hey, I predicted the score tonight and I was right. Congrats, Virginia. Ben, who do you think our starting pitchers will be throughout the playoffs? I think it's pretty much set in stone at this point. You go Hyun-Jin Ryu, Clayton Kershaw, Walker Buehler, and in that fourth game, that's when you have the freedom to throw the opponent off because you don't know what the Dodgers are going to do in that situation. I think it's going to be a straight bullpen game. I think they might start a Tony Gonsolin. They might start a Rich Hill, and then you work in guys like Julio Urias. But I'd be in favor of any of that lineup, but I don't think they need a clear starter. And then also, you could bring that Game 1 starter back. You could theoretically already work in the Game 1 starter at that point. But I will tell you later who's going to the World Series, Virginia. Virginia is a soothsayer, apparently, and she's got that magic 8 ball. She's going to tell us who's going to be in it. But Julio, I don't trust Kenley pitching back-to-back days. He needs the day of rest between his outings. Yes, he has those splits. Those splits aren't in his favor when he pitches on back-to-back nights. And I think that's one of the great things that we've learned. Mora, how's it going? Home field advantage really helps. How you doing, Mora? Eyes Bobby, Dodgers blowing out everyone all year. Are they ready for a full 9-inning games, low-scoring close? That's a great question, but hey, they've gotten their fair share. Look, Tampa Bay, that was a series that had urgency. You saw the Yankees series. They didn't pass that test with flying colors. But you had series like the Red Sox right after the break. The Dodgers have had series that have had stakes on it, but and I think that look as much as per, you could say everything you want we're going to take it every game at a time and we're going to be professional, but there is a certain amount of adrenaline that comes with playing in the playoffs, and that switch is going to be turned on for the Dodgers. So I think that you're going to see that. I think this team is more than ready. Don't discount the fact that they've been in these battles for going on 4 years. This is the 4th year under Dave Roberts. First year, we know they didn't get to the World Series. That was the year that they lost to the Cubs in the NLCS. But 2 straight years in the World Series, and then I think they learned from their mistakes. But, well, win or lose, I love my Dodgers from Virginia. I love that. That's my mentality. Hey, man, this team is, I bleed Dodger blue, win, lose, or draw. If they lose this World Series, I won't love them any less. I just want it badly, but I'm here until I'm 6 feet deep, no matter what. So it's Dodger blue for me all day, every day. But, hey, we need a World Series. Don't get me wrong. And we want one very badly. And today really showed that. Kershaw, Ryu from Jose. How many pitchers will they carry in the post? Probably around 13, I would say. Russell Martin for closer, Mora, O'Brien. Hey, that could be the – look, if the Dodgers can really give some run support and they could really light up that scoreboard, maybe you could see a Russell Martin. But, hey, I wouldn't suggest that. Good night, all of you. God bless from Virginia. I thought you were going to tell us who was going to win the World Series. Cyberpunk, we can't lose another World Series this year. It's too unbearable. Look, that is the history of this franchise. It took the Dodgers 6 tries before they could beat the New York Yankees from 1941 all the way to 1955. The Dodgers don't win every World Series. I believe they have 18 World Series appearances, so in 5 titles, so in 6 titles. So this Dodgers team doesn't always get it done. So, but you just got to ride with them because you keep going to the dance and you keep knocking on that door. At some point, you're going to break through, and this to me could be the year. But Roberts is going down if he loses another World Series from Cyberpunk. I think that there'll be heads will roll. We'll cross that bridge when it happens. But I don't think so. If you look at Dave Roberts, back-to-back 100-win seasons, okay? His record, he has 23 postseason wins. That's 6 more than they had in the last 23 years combined. So what he's done with that. But get your final Dodger takes in. Any hot takes you got left, throw those in there. And but we're going to be signing off. Last regular season show of the year is Sunday against the Giants, so we'll be back with that. But we're going to have we're going to do every single game in the postseason. In the postseason, we're coming at you live after every single Dodger game. And then check me out. I'm going to be on the Blue Heaven podcast on Thursday talking about the playoffs and all things Dodger baseball. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at DMAC_LA, Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. Go to DodgersNation.com. Be sure to gear up, get some gear, get your t-shirt game up for the postseason. But that is going to do it for the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Thanks for rocking with us, a late-night show tonight. But thanks again, guys. See you next time, and go Dodgers.